All right, everybody. Good late afternoon. We've got ourselves the injury report from today, an actual practice report because the Seahawks actually practiced today, and things didn't necessarily get better, but I guess things didn't really get worse. So we're kind of still hanging around in the middle here, waiting to figure out what's going to go on when the game actually starts. Fortunately, well, I don't want to say fortunately, but in fairness, that statement also applies for the other side. So we'll get to that in a second here. But let's start with the Seahawks practice report from Thursday. From John Boyle on X, we have this. So you can see that the list of players who did not practice today actually got just a little bit longer, although it didn't really change in terms of meaning. D. Eskridge still not practicing with ribs. I mean, I don't really know what to say about it anymore. I don't know if he hurts himself every day in the morning or something, and then by the end of the day he's okay and thinking he's going to practice the next day, and then the next day he comes back in and gets hurt. I don't know anymore. But yeah, injured. I wouldn't expect him to play. I don't think you ever really expect D. Eskridge to play. Maybe one day he plays, and that's great, but you don't count on it. Ken Walker still did not participate in practice. Time to get a little concerned about that. I feel like he's going to play, but this obviously is not a great sign. That he's banged up like this. This is something we dealt with last year, where Walker was playing at clearly less than 100%, and it affected his abilities. He's not really a veteran yet at the point where you look at him and you go, well, he can miss practice because he's got so much NFL experience. Who cares? So I would be at least a little bit concerned about what's going on with K9 right now. If we don't get good news tomorrow, then that's a setback against this Titans team. And Jamal Adams did not participate in practice. Again, we don't really know what's going on there. Carroll sounded less confident about him yesterday than he did previously. So, very possible that Adams does not go this week as well. And at that point, you have to wonder if he'll be back again this season, because that would imply some kind of a setback from where Carroll said we were a couple days ago. So he's still out. Devin Witherspoon still out with that hip pointer. They're saying that things are getting better, but things might not get better fast enough for this upcoming game. And again, I guess that's okay. The Titans don't really have receivers that are going to threaten you that much. We can win without Witherspoon. We just need other players to step up a little bit. They did step up on Monday night, so it's reasonable to say they can do it again. But I just, you want your best players out there at all times, and Witherspoon's maybe the best player on this team. He's certainly the best player on this defense with the way he's played so far this season. Julian Love, nothing to worry about there. That's the wife giving birth thing, so not really worried about that. So he'll be back when we need him. Frank Clark is ill. I don't know if anybody would miss him if he didn't play. I, at this point, don't think there could be any difference between playing Frank Clark and activating Levi Bell and playing him a little bit. But I don't really feel anything either way there. And I'm sure if he's ill on Thursday, he'll probably be good to go for Sunday. That's usually how it goes. And Bobby Wagner got the day off just because he's old, and that's what you do when you're old. You get days off when you don't usually get them. So, yeah. Overall, no real change from yesterday, which is concerning, but at the very least, things didn't get worse, I guess, because like I said, the Bobby Wagner thing is not a concern. The Frank Clark thing isn't a concern for multiple reasons. So let's move along here to limited participation, and as you can see, again, no radical change here. In fact, you could argue things regressed a little bit. You've got Trey Brown still limited. I'm sure he'll play, but he's working through something that is affecting his abilities, which when we may not have Witherspoon and we don't know what's going on with Woolen, that's a big deal. Leonard Williams limited again. Now he's an older player, he's a veteran. I wouldn't be surprised if we're just giving him breaks. So I'm not really concerned about that affecting his play. Not really concerned about that affecting his availability. Abe Lucas regresses. He goes back to limited participation. That might just be kind of a load management thing. I don't think there's any real concern there. I doubt there was any kind of a setback, but it does kind of represent the fact that we're taking it easy with Abe Lucas because we know that he's still working through stuff, and it makes sense. And Evan Brown also regressed back to limited. He was ill, though, so probably by game day he'll be ready to go. These football players don't stay sick long because they jack themselves up with medications, and usually by game day they're good to go. All right, that gets us to full participation. Bradford went the right direction. Anthony Bradford, full participant. No, doesn't seem to be any doubt about his availability on Sunday. Nick Ballore went the right direction. Not that he plays that much, but still, I'll take good news where I can get it. Jordan Brooks, right direction. Ankle injury, went from limited yesterday to full today. Um, I got to give massive credit to Jordan Brooks for what he's been able to do this season. I really do, because you guys know I've never been a big fan of Jordan Brooks. I've never been a big fan of his play. But not only is he having a career year coming off an ACL tear, but he's playing through injuries right now that I thought were going to sideline him. When he got hurt against the Cowboys, I thought we were in big trouble. But he basically missed the rest of that game and didn't miss any other time. So great stuff there. It looks like he's good to go, and he played well last week against the Eagles overall, I think so. I'm sure he'll play well this week against the Titans. So good news there. Geno Smith, full participant yet again, still showing up on the injury report, still kind of playing coy whether or not he's going to be able to play on Sunday, but it would be very surprising at this point if he did not play on Sunday. So it looks like we're going to get Geno Smith back. So I'm going to go ahead and classify that under good news and let the comments fight as much as they want to fight, because I know they're going to do that. Noah Fant, new name on the participation report. Full participation, so I don't think there's anything to worry about, but there is a toe injury going on there, and we know how toe injuries can affect things, like what happened with Charles Cross earlier this year, where he was doubtlessly playing through a turf toe and definitely affecting him. So we didn't get as much clarity as we would have liked today. If anything, things got a tiny bit worse. I feel like that tomorrow's going to be a very important day to determine whether or not these guys are going to play. And as we're going to get to the Titans in a second here, they're very beat up. But if we're down guys like Walker, who was our best player on offense on Monday, and Witherspoon, who is our best player on defense overall, then that's going to be really hard for this team to overcome on the road against a Titans team that is not terrible, even if they are bad. So thin margins here. We gotta get some of these guys back tomorrow for sure. All right, so let's go over to the Titans side of things real quick here. Paul Kuwarski on X has the latest, and as you can see, things really didn't get that much better for the for the Titans this week, and they are probably going to be down a lot of players, like more than us. And we have our own issues. Look at these issues. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's try to get an idea here. So the good news for the Titans is that Daniel Brunskill went the right way. He was limited today, so he'll probably be okay. And Kyle Phillips went the right way today. He went from did not practice to limited. That probably means he's going to be able to play. Now, Kyle Phillips is not a big-time player, but they may need him because of some of the other things going on with this team right now at the receiver position. But pretty much everything else stayed the same. The only things that really changed were Westbrook officially went on IR, which we knew was going to happen yesterday anyway because they announced it. Derrick Henry got a rest day. That's not really anything. But Arden Key went to limited from not showing up on the injury report at all the previous day, Arden Key. And that's obviously a disturbing trend. But other than that, basically everything stayed the same from yesterday to today. So you've got Aaron Brewer, didn't practice. At this point, you have to wonder if he'll play. Treylon Burks, and I mistakenly called him the most important receiver on this Titans team yesterday. I completely forgot about Hopkins, but Burks is certainly the most important receiver for the long term of this Titans team. He's not off to a very good start, admittedly, and he is ill, so there's a pretty good chance that he'll be ready to go for the game. But they're going to be leaning on him even more heavily now because of the Westbrook injury, and they're going to hope he shows them something these last 3 games, so that's significant. Jack Gibbons did not practice, second straight day with a back injury. Luke Gifford, hamstring, did not practice, second straight day. Now, there's some depth stuff going on here, but you also have key players. Amani Hooker, knee injury, did not practice, second straight day. Will Levis really looks like he's not going to play. Looks like we are going to get Ryan Tannehill. Now, I don't know if people are going to be happy about that or not. Will Levis is a rookie who will put the ball in risky situations, whereas Tannehill is a veteran who might have an understanding of how to just take what the defense gives him and check us down to death, like he kind of did back in 2021. But Levis was the better player by far so far this season. TK McClendon did not practice second straight day. Sean Murphy Bunting, who I do believe does play a decent amount for them, did not practice. So that could be a significant loss against our receiver core. Jeffrey Simmons looks like he's not going to play, which is huge. He's one of their best players, very important. Kevon Wallace also did not practice. Looks like he may not play, which, especially with no Amani Hooker, matters a lot. Trevon Wesco, backup tight end for them, did not practice. Danico Autry and DeAndre Hopkins continue to get their rest. I don't think that's indicative of them not being able to play on Sunday, so I'm not really thinking about that too much. Josh Weil still a full participant. So that's it for the injury report with the Titans. As you can see, it's worse than ours. It's getting a tiny bit better, but kind of like ours, it's mostly just staying the same. And tomorrow's going to be a very important day. So that was a lot to get through. They could almost field a whole team with their injury report, man. They could almost field a whole team. It wouldn't be easy. It would be a pretty bad team that would lose a lot, but they could almost do it, it feels like. They're a massive number of names. All right, so I'm going to be streaming tonight with the Hawks Nest. I'm going to probably do some Twitch stuff at some point. I don't know if it's going to be before. I don't know if it's going to be after. The Thursday night game is actually important for us, so I'm going to at least be keeping an eye on that. I will see you guys later. Go Hawks. Injury report. We're going to need more answers tomorrow. We need more answers. This one gave us more questions than answers.